And Zoom, wherever people see this, posted on Libsyn, podcast, Podomatic, all that shit. I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation here at IMC Las Vegas, the home base hub of IMC Nation, the movement founded by AZD. That's the bald Persian guy with all the face tattoos and everything. You probably see his clips. We grow these accounts on those clips, and I just saw the AI change camera. That was a trip. Wow, the camera followed me around. Uh, okay, that's kind of creepy. Wow. If you move the camera, wow. Um, so what I'm talking about today is surgical communication and surgical mindset because it's amazing as I talk to different guys. Oh, that's a trip how the camera is doing that. It's creeping me out. It's like there's a camera guy on the other side of it, but it's just the computer. Um, I talk with so many guys and I have a purpose, what I'm doing with IMC Nation. And we're getting the message out because I got this guy, AZD, who is just hack the code. He's like Neo in the Matrix or something. He's doing things that is revealing that the Matrix is more malleable and fluid than you think it is. And he's using women as that platform, like he has relationships. And he's used that to demonstrate the reality of his physics of communication, physics of mindset, quantum physics, self-image and things like that. How you can change your destiny and everything when you change your mindset. And your communication changes, your decisions change. Like you change everything about your life over time. It's just a completely different life born from communication and imagination, essentially. That's what mindset is. And so finding the people that resonate with it is one thing. What happens is when I find people and I talk with them, and you may be in this case, there's so much superstition in their mind about the nature of reality, the nature of communication, the nature of women, their expectations of relationships, even business and money and all of that stuff. People are just walking suitcases of superstitions. Some are just like colloquial belief systems, or some are just like common sense or memes passed around advertising society and whatever. Like YOLO, you only live once. That was a meme idea somebody used to promote a business or something. And somehow that's become people's like active life philosophy. Like they get it tattooed on them. Like that's like a principle of living if they were going to write a self-help book. And it's like, wait, that was just a meme. Like, what is it? Army comes out with like be all you can be or whatever. And then somebody take like it's not a bad quote or whatever. It's just where did people get their life philosophies from? Advertising, movies, and the Bible and shit. But the Bible through a teacher or whatever that probably fucked them up. Like everyone distorted the message. And so people it's a really bad condition. People are communicating and they're just not saying what they are really meaning. It's all indirect language. You have to decipher it. And so that's why even people with like the closest rapport and friendship, they still have a falling out because you were actually misunderstanding each other the whole time. It's just your feelings and your emotions were harmonizing. So you had a resonance on a feeling frequency, but they were value differences and core communication differences that couldn't be reconciled at the communication skill that those people had. Because there's a lot of disagreement. Almost everybody disagrees about almost everything. It's just that doesn't mean it has to be a disagreement. You could harmonize or alchemize would be another way to say it. Like whatever somebody says something negative to you, have you ever been insulted or seen this happen? Like where somebody throws an insult and the other person that's receiving supposedly the insult kind of flips it on its head. Like they could attack back, they could cower, they could do all sorts of things, but they say something. This happens with girls a lot. That let's say she says something that's just like out of character, mean, like what the fuck? Like she just got taken over for a moment, and she says some dumb shit, and then you give her a look, like yeah. A lot of times it just comes across in a look, and then they break and they laugh and they like admit that it was false, they were lying or something. Why was I saying that? Uh, it's funny when do a podcast about surgical communication and then my communication falls off. Um, Oh, the ability to take the negative and just spin it on its head. You'll see this in sales too. The customer will give some objection that's just like can't be fixed. It's out of the question. This is a hard no for why I can't do it. And then a proper salesman can reframe it and say it in a different way and reintroduce the idea in a different way, in a different light. And the customer like goes yes. To convert the no to a yes is a very simple, straightforward example, clear example of alchemy. To change someone's mindset and their language went from a no to a yes. The sound of no turned into a yes. How did you make the person go from no to yes? You changed the energies inside of them. That's what conversation is, or good conversation is changing energies. Yeah, it's not that you're just changing them, you're both changing. You're changing each other in a way that's positive. You like it. Good conversation. It's 12/12/2025. It's amazing. 9/22/12/12/2025. Whoa, nine, man, that's a good time. The whole day has been a very numerologically synchronous day. Okay, so what I see is, or what I hear is a lot of superstitions from guys. And who am I to say absolute authority on, let's say, man, people will come up with spirits, guys will, girls do too, but it's like there's my woman who listens to me. There's other women who listen to me to some degree. And then there's the rest of the women that I don't care about. And but the guys like because the planet I really believe is in a not a good condition. I think it's getting better in some ways, but there's a real battle going on through the consciousnesses of people who are being run, ideas and concepts, and you can call it entities. I don't even think it's that, but might as well be. I don't know. It's kind of out of my perception. It's out of my pay grade to even identify it as that. I definitely could call it an idea. I could definitely call it a frequency that just permeates people. You could not have the idea, you could have the idea, you could share the idea, like it can kind of infect people. It's kind of transcending time and space like that. And people are being used as like robots. Like you ever see a robot and it's like asleep in the movie and then it gets turned on by a remote control and then it starts going. Okay, these are like, let's say, hateful robots or resentful robots. And then the frequency of resentment goes through them, and then people act resentful or people act hateful. Like there's a software program in people, in their neurology, in their mind, in their brain, wherever you think about it, in their constitution, personal constitution, that is running them. You know, when you're angry, you get out of character, you make faces and you say things that, it's not, you wouldn't normally say that, or even you might even lie. Or you might even tell the hard truth when you were being nice, you were lying or whatever. And it's like, and then the anger leaves and you're back to the way you were. Whoa, dude, something was just running you like a puppet master. Anger. You could call anger an entity. You could call anger a frequency. You could whatever. I don't know. You could call it a neural pattern. That's what I'm saying. I think men have been hypnotized into giving away their sovereignty. Women also, but I think women like it. That's why they're daughters of Satan or whatever. Like they want to give over their sovereignty to a man. Ultimately, a lot of women have been programmed off of that. A lot of women have been jaded or traumatized away from that, where it's like, and there's just no real good options around them. Like it's a great idea, but like who? So for all those reasons, it's hard for some women to even acknowledge or accept that idea. But I think a lot of women would agree that they really secretly or not so secretly want to surrender to a man, not to the church or the priest or their dad or the government or whatever. And of the women that say no, most of them, if they were ever to fall in love with a real alpha male, you would see them change. They would change that idea. So men, I think, are what's going to change the planet. It's going to change the destiny of humanity. That men need to wake up and tribe up. Not everybody needs to be in one tribe. I'm not like a one world whatever, but tribes and communication. It's globalized world. Like everything's going to be more or less transparent anyway. Secrets are very hard to keep, and if you can, then great. Look at the fruits of the group. The Illuminati have secrets, but they're also like abusing people, and so that's not good. It's mass mind control. IMC Nation has secrets, but IMC Nation, the families are getting better, the family relationships, The students are getting better at those, they're leading those relationships. The family relationships are getting better because the men who learn from AZD are getting better at handling communication. And so they're cleaning and purging their families of all the negative neural pathways that just echo off each other, is one way to think about it. It's a way to think about it. I don't know the truth. I know enough to know that I don't know the truth. Maybe some things I know are the truth, and maybe some things I know are not the truth, and they're just kind of valid, temporarily valid. 100 years from now, they won't be so valid. Maybe 5 years from now, or whatever. So, but then what? Do I just sit here and not communicate because I don't know for sure? If it's if it's practical, if it's valid, let's communicate about it. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll adjust as soon as I become aware of it. So if anybody can invalidate me, then I'm actually all ears. Respect is foremost because it's like it's hard to hear feedback from somebody who's being all rude and in your face about it, even if they're right. They're wrong for communicating that way. Why do I have to try so hard to hear your so valid communication? Like, why are you straining my ears by being all offensive? But if you can respectfully communicate, even a woman could correct me if she's communicating with respect to my masculinity while she's doing it. It'd be pretty surprising how much I can take. I can take some real feedback, you know what I mean? But with a little bit of disrespect, I can't take any. I don't even want it. And sometimes I later hear, like, doesn't mean I overreact. It just means I put up a wall, like, to that. And maybe that's a weakness. As I'm saying it, I'm like, actually, sometimes I do. It's weird. It's like there's two sides of you. Or two sides of me, let's say. On one ear, I can really hear what's being said. No personal, no, it doesn't hit me at all. At all. It could be the most offensive communication, but it just goes right through me, and I'm hearing the essence of the communication outside of anything personal to me. They're trying to say something and they're using personal attacks to try to get the message across. If I did not feel personally attacked at all, what would be the message? And then there's this other side where it's like that person is so out of tune and out of alignment. It's basically gibberish, insane gibberish what they're saying. So it ends up being the same mountaintop when you go up both paths because even if it is gibberish, they clearly have something they're trying to communicate, get off their chest. I'm not dealing with an insane person like that. So what are they trying to say? Again, I don't take it personal. And then what are they really trying to say? So, uh, but sometimes a person is not snapping out of their attitude or their mood and they're being disrespectful and they should know that, hey, your communication is not really valid. What's up, Lotus Light? Man, waiting for you to be on one of these classes. These classes are mind blowing, guys. I know there's a bunch of people over here. Let me check the YouTube. I gotta go late night gym. It's a rest night. I was working all day, so this is gonna be. I could do some yoga here, but I think I'm gonna go to the gym. And if there's any cute honeys there, they're gonna get to see me stretch. Of course, I'm gonna be in my own world. I don't go to the gym and hit on girls or nothing like that. But display my feathers because ultimately, I'd rather go to a gym that was just guys. If like I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that, but it would be a better gym experience as far as the gym. Like if with the girls there, the whole social dynamic is there. But that's what it is. And if it was just a guy's gym, I would be hellish. I would actually do way more yoga. But because there's going to be girls there, if I do the kind of yoga like that I would want to do, and the lifting and everything else that I would want to do at the gym, uh, it would look like I'm doing it for the girl. So that sucks, but that's the calibration. Lotus Light, man, 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. Let's talk, man. I got like 10 minutes or 15 minutes before I go. If you guys want to stream, do hot yoga. Why do you say that? Come on, let's talk yoga. I'll talk yoga with you. They call me Yogi for a reason. Let's go. Elion, Lotus Light. Who's first? First come, first serve. Oh, yeah, I was going to check YouTube. I think I got my point across. Maybe. I don't know. I basically just said everybody's living in superstition and the solution is reality. And you'll see that when you're around people who you trust their opinions, that you can come to some agreement about what's happening. And you might think you have some agreement like Trump's raising taxes, Trump's lowering taxes. I don't know, whatever Trump's doing. But it's more than that. It's more like you were rude and nobody agrees they were rude. You think they were rude. Well, you should know that you're the only one that thinks they were rude. Or that was funny and everybody thinks it's funny except that person doesn't laugh. Why is that person not laughing at that obviously universally funny thing? And it may seem painstaking, it may seem pointless, but when it comes to surgical communication, surgical mindset, having clarity on reality is essential. Otherwise, you're just in the clouds of your own mind. And that's where people are superstitious. That's where people are vulnerable to so many weak neural pathways that just make them subservient to their own neurology, subservient to their own thoughts. It's not a good, and that's the planet. That's the condition of the planet. So if what I'm saying is speaking to you, because it's surprisingly high amount of guys that I talk to are very super. I don't know why I'm not. I think of my dad, and I was raised in the Catholic Church, and he did that because my mom wanted that, and my dad was just always seemed so spiritually righteous and yet completely standoffish about talking about it. Like he just had his own beliefs, and you could have your own beliefs, and you just didn't care. But you weren't going to change him. Don't even talk about his beliefs. But you know, super devout in his own. He is the epitome. If there's one thing I really like about my dad, he seems to be the epitome of his own religion, and he's got his own flaws or whatever. So you could call him, he's a prophet of those flaws also. But that's everybody. We are. But that in that day and age in that generation, it was really rare to come across a man that would be so sovereign of his own spiritual path. And his dad was actually very similar. Now that I think about it, I didn't realize Grandpa was like that. But like I said, there's other flaws of military life and being a country boy and everything that doesn't prepare a person for the digital age, like the times that we live in and the social options and the career options and the distractions and the lust and everything and the chemicals and like the way our parents and grandparents are raised. If anybody have any questions, it doesn't prepare us for this. It's kind of like they say college classes are preparing you for jobs of the future because the jobs of now, like jobs that don't even exist, it's preparing you for. It has to. Uh, I'm kind of getting a little off topic, but surgical communication removing superstitions, which is basically everything that's not real. If you think it's real, but it's not real, that's superstition. So social dynamics is one of the main places that guys and girls are in a delusion. They're in they are their own prophet of their own superstitious religion, which is the superstitions of their ideas and beliefs. And it's ruining their lives because if you don't live the life of your dreams, then why is that? What's holding you back? It's your own mind. Because if I somehow could inhabit your body and your life, and I knew what I needed to do, okay, 8 a.m. is when I go to work, and like I knew your schedule. I didn't have to like crash because you don't know if you entered my life, you wouldn't be able to handle my life because you have no idea what you would be doing. But let's just say enter my consciousness in you, and assuming you have some skills that I need to know, like you are an auto mechanic. Well, I need to borrow your auto mechanic. I can't do the job without it. But I just mean, given that I have all your career skills and what you need to do what you're doing, when it comes to just living, all the moments in between those skills, wake up, discipline, grooming, fitness, health, eating, hygiene and cleanliness and aesthetics of your space, the ideas and things that I would fill my mind and how I would communicate to people. Uh, uh, yeah. What was I saying? Vague. Well, whatever. Come to reality. Well, that's the remedy, anyway. The remedy for people are in their own superstitious belief systems, right? And that's what's getting them the results of their life. Oh, so that's what I was saying. So if I inhabited your body and your life, and I would get different results. We could just look at the physical level. I guarantee I would get different results because one of the most close you can see it in a lot of religions. They have dietary restrictions or suggestions or whatever. Like eating habits is essentially a religion. Every person who that's why they're changing religions. I was vegan, and then I was vegetarian, and then I was carnivore and paleo, and then I was a universal utilitarian or whatever, where it's like I could do any diet. I just when do I want to be that? When do I want to study Buddha? When do I want to study Jesus or Krishna or whatever? When do I want to be a vegan or a fasting or something like that? But whatever you want to think of it as, one's food habits is very, very close to their heart, their soul, their emotions, their mindset. It's very intimate. You change someone, try to convince someone that's vegan to not be vegan, or try to convince somebody who likes candy to not eat candy. Sugar is bad for you. Like they hold to their diet habits as closely as a Christian holds to Jesus and Muslim holds to whoever they hold on to, Muhammad, or I don't know. I'm ignorant of that shit. So it's like diet and eating is a religion that you have it, and just on that level, I would change your body just by changing nothing about me, just me inhabiting you and knowing what I know. Even you have different composition, you may be a woman or a man or something like that. I would figure it out if I don't know, but chances are I'm more familiar with the sensations of the body, and that means too little protein, too many carbs, too many this, that, wrong timing, bloating, whatever. Like I know the sensations because I've mapped it out really well. I'm not healthy by accident. I didn't fall into this body at 39 working out 10 to 15 minutes every other day or something. Like, it's ridiculous because I've biohacked it. I've been training myself for a long time and I've educated myself. So that's just one system of your beliefs are going to end up in your destiny. You have the body that you have because of the beliefs that you have about fitness and eating and what have you. You have the relationships that you have because of your beliefs and habits about how you interact with women and men because it's a social dynamic, it's a tribe, it's a big world tribe. There's little tribes, there's bigger levels of tribes. We're all kind of half loyal to a bunch of contradictory tribes, and nobody has a real 100% that they're part of tribe. Like 100%. That's what I am with IMC. That's why I got IMC tattooed all over me. So obviously, I swear by this tech, and the guys that I live with, the closest disciples and trainees of AZD demonstrating it and holding it down with multiple high level women. And we see it all the time when we go out in field with him. I've been out with him over 500 times, and he's batting 1,000 because his influence and ability to communicate with staff, with owners, with any passer buyers, with other customers, and of course with women and everything in between. I mean, I've seen him interact with hobos on the street and children, old, elderly, different races, drugs, crazy, like, and hot women, the whole spectrum of everything. I've seen the social dynamic, but especially when I go out with him, it's not what you think it is, but it results in some of the most amazing, incredible, just movie scene experiences of rapport or emotions or uh, laughter or release or sexual tension or just to the utmost degree. I'm telling you, beyond what you can imagine, beyond the greatest movie scene and more because it's real. It's real. It's not scripted. And time and time and time again and time again and time, bro, you would not believe how many times. That's why I'm so certain. That's why the inner circle is so certain. These guys, AZD couldn't make him quit if he tried, and he does try. He tries to make guys quit. That's the thing. AZD does not want a bunch of students. He wants messengers, guys that are good. And it's not easy what he does. He's top of the world, number one at dealing with the beautiful woman and demonstrating, and we all can demonstrate very easily that your liability as a man is going to be with women. Go ahead and work on your business, guys. Get to game later. That's going to be a fucking dumb mistake. So why? So you can build a multi-million dollar business and then lose it later when you don't have game? You're going to settle for whatever pussy you can get when you finally get out of the house and you spend, a lot of money on, finding a woman. And she's going to latch herself to you and you're going to be a mama's boy and you're going to marry her or you're going to settle with her and she's going to destroy your life and your business. And then you probably will do it again and again and again until you join IMC. Every other dating or whatever company or any advice you get from anywhere is going to ruin your life. You go test it, gamble with your life. Because they're short sighted. They don't have the success that AZD has. He has the answers for how to interact that makes it work and makes it effortless. Makes it effortless. There's no effort in making a woman attracted to you. There's just being who you are in a way that's attractive. Now, what's the way? Well, why don't you do it the way? You don't know the way? Do you need a teacher to show you the way? Or can you just figure it out? I'll bet you need a teacher. Because if you try to figure it out, you're going to see that you're uncoordinated and you're in a delusion. Just like all the superstitious guys I was talking about earlier, you think you know how to attract a woman. You don't. You maybe have some attractive things about you that if you meet enough people, somebody's going to be attracted to you. But that's not the same thing as attracting women. And so you are at the whim of, your baseline. Who are you? How are you? What are your habits? I can tell you what kind of woman you're going to get. And if that's not okay with you. If you want to provide choice for yourself, if you want to raise your standards, I can tell you that everything about getting women is going to, in the AZD system, the real system of Earth, it's going to have to do with everything else about your life, starting with your self discipline, your relationship with a creator or with yourself, just your relationship to the phenomenon of you being alive, and your relationship with your team and your tribe, which can include your family, relationship with parents, just relationship to life, but your reputation in a tribe, very important. And when you get those things together, then women makes a lot of sense. It's going to be hard to really authentically understand women if you have no relationship to a creator or a reason why you're here. Doesn't, because words fit for different people, but like existence, what the fuck, like that, all, and then look into it a little bit. Okay, you got to have that. You need a tribe or a team that reputation, your own reputation matters with. And whatever the first thing was, I said, I forget what the first thing. So, oh, providing, well, whatever. That's what's going on here. I feel like I kind of lost steam here at the end. I kind of lost my point. So let's see if there's any comments, and I'll just wrap it up. Nobody else wanted to go live. It was apparently entertaining for a few of you. Appreciate the love. Go to IMC Base One. I had a girl sign up. I had an unsubscriber. That's weird. It should be very obvious, girls. The newsletter is not for you. So I don't want to have to put a disclaimer not for women. That's fucking dumb. You should just know that. Yeah. Elion, I asked you to go live. You didn't go live. I was like, Elion, go live. So if you want to go live, I got a minute. Tap in for a quick second. Why don't you come on? All right. Let's see what's going on here. Give Elion a second if he's going to come. Andrew, what's up? Okay. Remove all superstition, guys. Guys, if you're on, you want to come to AZD's class tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. That's in about 12 hours. Wow, that's amazing. It's on Zoom, so I'll send you the link. If you want, send me a DM to this account. AZD's class is only for men. It's on Zoom. It's going to be some high level mindset, communication, game, relationship disclosure, some realities of this shit. It'll blow your socks off for sure. And you'll never be the same. Kumar, everybody, I'm ending this live. You're invited to be my guest because you're on this live right now. Be my guest for AZD's class tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's in 12 hours. DM me to join. Otherwise, go to imcbase1.com. Check out all the goodies there. All right. Oh, Jay Grudev, be the best. Fuck the rest.